So I have, in addition to the ways in which I have unschooled them, one of the things I have done is I've taught them a lot about the nature of their intuition, how to understand it, how to listen to it, how to work with it, and specifically some things about the relationship between your emotions, your emotional response, and your intuition. So that has been my path, my teaching with my kids, in addition to letting them be really self-directed. So they have my two younger children who are now teenagers, 16 and 14. They've been able to find their own passions and really expand on those. And that's one of the benefits of unschooling, if you choose that path, is they become very passionate about things they identify the things they're passionate about when they're pretty young. Okay, so I've spoken a lot about unschooling. Now let me tell you what happened. So my son decided he wanted to go to high school. And the reason he wanted to go to high school is because he was really feeling ready for more relationships. He's feeling ready for more independence. It's in his natural development as a teenager is to become independent from his family and his mama, of course. I want that to happen. And so he started down his path, started school, and it's only been a few days, about a week now. And he came back to me the other day, and we were talking about, actually we started talking about anime. We were talking about anime because he said to me, well, Mom, I actually don't watch anime so much because there are things in it that I don't really like. And I said, oh, that's interesting, because I've noticed that there are things in anime that I don't really like. And I wonder if they're the same things. And he said to me, well, yeah, I don't like in a lot of anime that I had watched in the past, the way in which it sexualizes women. And then he goes on to tell me that he's recognized that he has a way of thinking and feeling and making sense of the world, of his mind, of the kind of thoughts he has, and his awareness of the thoughts he has or the information he receives and how that information affects his body, how it affects his spirit. And he said that all the things I taught him about his mind, about his spirit, about his emotions, this constellation thing that I do, that he can see that it really affected him and that he thinks differently about things than the friends that he's making at school right now. And he said to me, I just want to thank you, because he said he didn't really appreciate what was happening, what I was doing, what I was giving him at the time, but now that he's seeing the contrast between how he thinks and feels and makes sense of things between himself and the other students, he really was feeling appreciative. And of course, as a person who's committed to this path, even as I was struggling with that thought of like, hey, am I ruining my children? Is this okay? It was I feel like it was probably a top moment, one of the best moments in my parenting life, to have my teenager tell me how much he appreciates what I taught him. So I wanted to share that. And I wanted to share it in part because this piece around your thoughts and your feelings, the relationship between your thoughts and the feelings, that is one of the core pieces that I have taught my children, and I teach educators and parents about, because it's so fundamental. It's so fundamental, because when we direct our attention someplace, we're going to get some information back. If I direct my attention towards the rising sun and being in nature in the morning, I'm going to get some information back about how it makes me feel, and it's going to feel good, sitting out in the sun, feeling that expansion of the day, feeling myself connected into nature. That feels good. On the other hand, if I spend my morning, I get up in the morning and I start scrolling through my social media feed or watching videos on TikTok, and then all of a sudden my attention gets sunk, I'm going to have a feeling. I'm going to have a reaction. And that feeling will feel like, it could feel like lots of things, but it could feel like thought patterns where you're not feeling good. You could just feel like kind of stuck and sluggish. You could start to feel depressed because you've compared yourself to other people you see in your social media feed. That's what I'm referring to, is the relationship between your thoughts and your feelings, or between information, your actions, and your feelings. Your feelings are a response. They're information, letting you know, oh, this is great, keep going in this direction, or no, this does not feel good. Stop going in this direction. It's really draining you. So when my son talks about, for example, watching anime and discovering, oh, I'm seeing things here and it does not feel good to me, right? He's talking about how he's maintained his sensitivity to his emotional response to information, this feedback loop. This is a feedback system. And a lot of times when we learn about what are emotions and feelings, we don't recognize that these are feedback. It's a feedback system. Okay, so it's 10 minutes. I've gone over the time that I wanted to go over. I think I'm going to stop there, giving you some information to think about. What is the relationship between the feedback mechanism of your emotions and the thoughts or the information you're putting into your body. And just to let you know that if you teach this to your children, it benefits them, and then hopefully one day they'll say, hey mom, or hey dad, or hey teacher, or mentor, facilitator, friend, thank you so much for teaching me how to make sense of my emotional feedback system, and to learn how to turn off the things that don't feel good to me, so that way I can stay whole in my spirit. So that's my message for today. I hope you have a great one. Take care.